Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all my brothers and sisters. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح ربي زدني علما أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا فأتوا بسورة من مثله. Okay, so here noon is silent, and after that there is kaf from haruf ikhfa. So we're gonna be taking the sound of the noon into the nose. وَإِن كُنتُم. See, noon is silent, and there is ta, that is haruf ikhfa. So we're gonna be doing ikhfa as well here. We're gonna be taking the sound of the noon into the nose. Okay, so this is gunna. This is gunna as well. This is gunna as well. Okay, so وَإِن كُنتُم فِي رَيْبٍ, if you are in a doubt, مِمَّا نَزَلْنَا, whatever we have sent to our عَلَى عَبْدِنَا, our slave, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is meant here. فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِهِ, so bring a surah like it, same like it, just bring a surah like this. So here is a short description of a da'wah, that here the da'wah ends, not begins. As we are giving a da'wah to someone, and we convince them that whatever is in this Quran and whatever the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is all truth, and we're convincing them, we're telling them about Islam, and the other person is not getting convinced. So we're like, what, if you're not getting convinced, why don't you just go and bring a surah like this? If you think this is not truth, that why don't you just go bring a surah like this? No, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ending a da'wah. He's not starting a da'wah from here. And this da'wah was given to a specific group of people in Makkah. This da'wah was given to those people, and it was given for like continuously 10 years. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ended the da'wah here, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that whatever we sent on our slave, on our messenger, if you don't think that it's truth, so why don't you just bring a surah like it? Okay, so here I'll just give you an example of Tufail ibn Amr ibn Daws, that he was the the leader of the tribe, one of the Arabs tribe. He was the leader of it, and he was the the very famous and the biggest poet of Arab. So he heard that there's a guy who is making trouble in Makkah. So he came, and he wanted to visit Makkah. So when he came to the when he was going to visit Makkah, the leaders of the Makkah came quickly to the exit of the Makkah and stopped him right away, that what, there's a guy who has sahar, who has magic, and we don't want you to get into it, so why don't you just go and come sometime else? So he was like, no, now I came, so I'll just visit Makkah, and I'll just visit and then just go back. They're like, what, if you want to visit Makkah, so you just plug your ears when you see, when they told the appearance of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they're like, when you see him, just plug your ears. He was like, okay, that's fine. When he came and he visited Makkah, and he saw the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as he was reading the Quran, so he's like, oh, you know what, I just need to plug my ears. So he just plugged his ears, and he was going halfway, and then he's like, what, why do I have to run? I'm the leader of my tribe. I'm one of the best poet of Arab. I'm the master of languages. So he unplugged his ears, and he took shahada. They knew the power of the Quran. They knew the power of these words. That's how there's another example of Utbah ibn Rabi'a, who was the biggest debater of that time. And the leaders of the Makkah, they told Utbah ibn Rabi'a that why don't you go and debate with Muhammad? As they don't say sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so they're like, why don't you go and debate with him? So he went, and he went, and he like, the way he was talking, he was really insulting. He went and he debated with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it was like, he was like barking like a dog, in a really indignified fashion, so when he was done, the Prophet ﷺ said that, are you done? Then he's like, the Prophet ﷺ started reciting Surah Fussilat, So, when he started reciting the surah, even the bulldog, they started crying. So they were like, they couldn't handle, they were so overwhelmed that when they hear the Quran, when they hear the words, so you know what, he even took shahada. And the leaders, they were looking from far that, what's going on. They couldn't, they didn't had any idea that what was going on. So when he came back to the leaders, and they were like, your face is not what it was before. So your face expression, they're changed. So they're like, he got you too. I mean, he had a sahar on you. He had the magic on you too, as well. So they're like, you don't know what it's gonna be a huge thing. I mean, these words and whatever he's bringing, it's gonna be a huge thing. And like, they were really like, overwhelmed when they hear the Quran, when they hear the words. And the last accusation was, it's a magic. So how can it be however, magic is not heard, it's seen. So you see something is torn into pieces and it becomes into pieces once again, that's called magic. But they were just words, and they were like, how can it be a magic? It can be magic. But this is what their last accusation about the Quran was, that it's a magic. وَدْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Okay, here شُهَدَاءَكُم, you have to do gunna here. This is known as silent, and there's dal. Dal is after haruf ikhfa. So we're gonna be hiding the sound of the nose into the nose, sound of the noon into the nose. مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ, noon is silent. After that there's kaf, haruf ikhfa. So we're gonna be hiding the sound of the noon into the nose. إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Okay, now here noon is silent, and there's that after there's ta, that is from haruf ikhfa. So we're gonna be hiding the sound of the nose, sound of the noon into the nose. Okay, so here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that bring witnesses min dunillahi, other than Allah, in kuntum sadiqin, if you are truthful. If you think that you're truthful, if you think that all your witnesses, your certified witnesses that are the idols, that are the leaders, or maybe the expertise in language, and all those, what you think, min dunillahi in kuntum sadiqin, that can be, greater witnesses than Allah, then just bring them in kuntum sadiqin if you are truthful. And min dunillah here is, it's not a ghayr Allah, it's dunillah. Dunillah means that even though you will bring those witnesses, they can't be compared to Allah. They can't be more witness than Allah. Allah is the biggest witness. Allah is the biggest, witness, and all the witnesses, even if you bring them, you cannot compare them with Allah. In kuntum sadiqin, if you are truthful. So here, the ayah is finished. May Allah give us, khushu khuzu in our salah, and give us khushu khuzu in all the verses, that each and every word we read the Quran, and may Allah give the same khushu khuzu like the people used to hear before the ayah and the Quran when the Prophet ﷺ used to recite it, and they used to get overwhelmed. That's how may Allah give us that khushu khuzu. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.